And now, our favorite part of the show, the choices of the voices.
Once again, thank you to the wonderful and everybody holds your ears. So lovely Miss Button for introducing our favorite portion of the show, the choices of the voices. Yes, we know how it is during the holidays. Everything gets crazy and convoluted, but nevertheless, we are still here to make things happen. This question is a few weeks old, so we gave you some time to think about it. And with the quarterback playing college football, you probably flip your mind about 4 or 5 times. With that being said, Scott D, what's the topics for this week's choices of the voices?
Yeah, I was giving everyone a couple weeks to look at what was going on from rivalry week or championship week and examine the whole season. But who do you think is going to win the Heisman? And that's coming next Saturday, right? This coming Saturday? Heisman now
Yes,
is
this
coming
coming Saturday.
Saturday. Eddie, cool. What did our people say?
All right, y'all, let's hop right into it. Scott Heineman, he says, if these are the three main picks, I'm going to go with Michael Penix Jr. And then he said the wide receiver from Washington is pretty good too. And then he said Marvin Harrison Jr. is the ninth best wide receiver with 200 plus yards, uh, less than Odunze, but I do have one more. But he does have one more touchdown, and I don't think I've seen Odunze's name in the Heisman race. Wonder why. So
Buckeye bias. Buckeye bias.
Yeah.
yeah,
So I
yeah.
mean, very good point with that.
Mhm.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate because you take Marvin Harrison away from Ohio State, they have nothing. You take away
Yeah, pretty much.
from Washington, they still got two other dynamic wide receivers, but it's still a little West Coast, East Coast. People don't know about really how good Washington really is. They're about to find out soon enough. Like, please, Washington, for the love of God, play like you've been playing all year and just handle Texas like I know you can.
I think everybody is rooting for Washington. Well, I would say Michigan, but a lot of people, there's Michigan detractors based on the little scandal thing going on there and Harbaugh hate. But I think more people will be rooting against Alabama than anything going into this college playoff. Anyway, I'm off track.
But of course, I like the answer with Odunze because essentially that's what he's a
yeah.
But because it's a quarterback-driven award, it don't matter what other contributors on the team do. If you're a parent with a kid, we're going to have 11 quarterbacks on each team on the field all the time. 11 quarterbacks. Or wide receiver, we're going to have a quarterback. Hey, you know what? We're going to be like the South Carolina Gamecocks. They have a quarterback.
Watch it.
They got a quarterback at running back. They got a quarterback at wide receiver.
Your mouth, and your ass. Watch it and watch it. All right, watch it and watch it. All right. So we gonna move right along. Yeah, Spencer Rattler's gone. There's Inner Lenore Sellers. We got guys flying all over the place. There's another conversation for another day. All right. Nathan Elser, he said marvelous, Marvin Harrison Jr. So can't dispute that one either. He has a pretty good season. Jeffrey Lewis said either Panthers getting future Heisman Daniels or they trade for Brees or insert your own prostitute. What?
Your Honor, that I move that be stricken from the record. Next.
Yeah, we're gonna be
he's already talking NFL draft. He's 6 months ahead of us.
Yeah, Jeffrey, come back in 6 months. Let's see. Randy Martin, he says Marvin Harrison Jr. is a hell of an athlete. Bo Nix is played great ball. Michael Penix had a great season, and Daniels is a baller. This is a tough one.
And insert the money man Scott Donnelly. Make a freaking pick.
Love it. I love it. I saw that. Yeah.
I think he did make a pick though, didn't he?
He did, but
he said.
I don't think he'd have made that pick if you didn't say something.
Oh.
Yeah, you had to hold it. You had to hold his feet to the fire real quick. Say something, Junior. Hurry up. He gonna go with Marvin Harrison Jr. He said after these last games, I'd have to say if Jaden doesn't win, the system is rigged. So you say you'll go with Harrison Jr. And anyways, Randy, I think you're confused. But anyways, Hall of Famer.
We've had the question up for 2 weeks. So
yeah, that's true.
One of them, he might have answered one way, and then it was like, Jaden Daniels, I mean, has been showing out, but again, all of it's a mess anyway. I've lost faith in college football, but I'll include that in my choices answer in a little bit. Ooh,
Gotcha. Hall of Famer Uncle Max, man. If you remember Uncle Max, if you need us, holler at us. We got you. The Hall of Famer
Yeah,
Uncle
good
Max. He
good
says,
luck with this. Good luck with your surgery, Max. We're thinking about you, buddy.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. He says Marvin Harrison Jr. That's it. And Matty Ice Martin Tracy said, for some reason, I don't know how the hell the NFL draft became a part of this Choices of the Voices, but I'm gonna read it anyway. Matty Ice said, I so want the Pats to draft Jaden Daniels. I want him to come to Carolina. That's gonna be a long shot. He said, so that's my pick. Just look at his stats. Even against top 10 talent, he did great and had 4 INTs all season. That probably has changed since the posting of this question. He was not the reason they lost games. If you watch him in action, the eyes don't lie. Yes, so can't deny that one. And that being said, shout out to Scott Heinerman, Nathan, Jeffrey Lewis, Randy Martin, Uncle Max, and Matty S. Martin Tracy for their contributions to this week's Choices of the Voices. Scotty D, Heisman, what you got?
You know, it seems like our answers are leaning towards Harrison, and I wouldn't object to that because he is such a dynamic player on a big time program. But I think the voters are going to go with Penix, and I think that's probably, I think it's probably going to be a good choice. But I think he's going to be the guy getting the award on Saturday.
Eli, who you got?
Well, you know me. I told y'all I was going to talk about quarterbacks all throughout the episode. And I'm going to say like this. I don't think any three of them have really, any of the three that are mentioned have elevated themselves above the other. Jaden Daniels, you got to win the games, bro. Sorry, I'm still stand firm. I said it back in 2016 when Deshaun Watson got robbed of the Heisman Trophy because of a Lamar Jackson that was dynamic the first 7 games and then fell off the face of the earth. But he was just so dynamic in the first 7 games. All Deshaun Watson did was win some more. And then on top of that, go into the playoff and drop 400 on Alabama's head. But no, y'all, yeah,
I always said that too. I agree.
I didn't understand that at all. But they do what they do. They say what they say. But nobody, and I mean absolutely nobody, is mentioning who I think should win the Heisman, which is not a quarterback. I'm just anti-quarterback right now.
Dabo.
All roads lead to Dabo, but not this time. Blake Corum for Michigan.
That's a good pick.
All he's done is like 23, 24 touchdowns. That man is a walking touchdown, pretty much. But no, I mean, he's not even in the picture. He didn't even get invited.
No, he's not going.
Wow.
But it's okay. But that's my pick. He can't win it because he didn't get invited. But Blake Corum is my Heisman winner.
But who do you think is going to get it?
I don't think who I think is going to be Jaden Daniels. I think you think
he's going to win Saturday?
Yeah.
I do not. I think after Penix beat Bo Nix head to head, I think he's getting it.
I mean, interestingly so, that would be a good way of putting it, but Penix did fall off like the last couple of games. When you look
I still think his name carries the weight though. And after that, being undefeated, beating Nix a second time head to head, I think it's going to be him.
I hope so.
Good point.
So yeah, that is a good point, and I'm okay with that. But like you asked me, I say Jaden Daniels. But it's a very compelling argument.
That would surprise me. I mean, I wouldn't mind it, but that would surprise me.
We shall see. I still have no faith in nothing, so
yeah, right.
Faith no more.
Yeah, pretty much. Eddie Cool, what about you?
I will say this though. I think it's gonna be a long shot, but I really, really like. Matter of fact, he's gonna be a finalist this year, but he's probably going to win it next year. I'm gonna say Jaden Daniels because Jaden Daniels. Listen to these numbers. Guided LSU to a 9-3 record because people were not checking for LSU at all this year. He had 3,812 passing yards with 40 touchdowns in the air with his arm. And on the ground, he ran for over 1,100 yards and also had 10 touchdowns. So if I do my math, that's 50 total touchdowns. He accounted for a lot of teams' touchdowns. And I'll be honest, we all know who know going to win it. Bring on the damn water. It's going to be Marvin Harrison Jr. But the long shot, I think it would be Jaden Daniels. Mm-hmm.
So you think Harrison's getting it, huh?
Yeah. I mean, Harrison is only thing he has to do is catch the ball 3 times, and he's living in Ohio. I've had a steady diet of Marvin Harrison Jr. last year and this season. Kid's impressive, and the pedigree is real, all the way real. All right. With that being said, that's another edition of the Choices of the Voices. Scotty D, what's on tap for next week?
All right. So we talked at length this week about how unfair we thought Florida State's omission into the playoffs was. We're going to give you a chance to cite for us other past situations in any sport that you thought something very unfair took place, whether it's suspensions, Heisman voting, college football voting, anything at all, anything you can come up with that you thought, man, that's BS. That shouldn't have happened. Past unfair situations in any sport, that'll give us something to talk about next week.
That will give us something to talk about next week. That's going to be a good one. I got a feeling that's going to be a good one. It sure will. All right. And that about does it here for the Choices of the Voices. Coming up next, Be Live. Pull it out. You know what time it is. It's going to be time for a round of pepper. Coming at you right here on the Sports Bros Podcast. Listening, rate, review, subscribe. Just check out everything on the Linktree link in the description box. See y'all later. See y'all later today, Wednesday. Y'all take care. Goodbye. It's been another episode of the Sports Bros Podcast. Hey, it's Eddie Cool here from the Sports Bros Podcast. Thank you for listening, and as always, continue to follow us on all of our social media platforms. Just click the link in the description box and keep up with the Sports Bros Podcast. And once again, thanks for listening.